from Waldo Thai Massage and Bodywork, here to do a quick little 30-minute yoga class. I am doing this every day in the month of June as a fundraiser for St. Jude. They are an amazing organization that help kids with cancer and their families. So if you don't know anything about St. Jude, go and check them out. It's a phenomenal organization. So anyways, I'm doing 30 minutes of yoga every single day for the month of June. I thought it would be fun to do it as a yoga class, free to you. So here you go. Today we're gonna do a hip opening quick little 30-minute class. So a lot of the poses that we're going to be doing today are going to be focused on hip opening. We carry a lot of stress and tension actually in our hips, like a lot of like emotional trauma and the crap like that is stored in our hips actually. So any type of hip opening yoga poses are going to be really good for just helping you let go of a lot of that nonsense that you are holding on to that is no longer serving you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So find yourself a nice comfortable seated position. I'm facing to the side because that's where my camera is, but once we get started, we will actually be going kind of the normal direction on the yoga mat. So find yourself a comfortable position, sit up nice and tall, relax your shoulders down away from your ears. Go ahead and close your eyes. Take a big inhale through your nose and let that breath out on a sigh. And with that sigh, just let go of any stress and tension that you might be holding on to today. So let's just let that stuff go. There is no reason to hang on to it. This is where you were meant to be. This is what you were meant to be doing right at this particular moment in time. So take this opportunity to really be here. Be fully present in what you're doing right now. And for just a few moments, let's focus on our breath. So go ahead and take some nice big inhales and some nice big exhales, making the breath maybe a little longer than normal. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Feeling the belly rise and expand on your inhale. And gently pressing that belly button back towards the spine as you exhale. So just take a few nice big deep breaths. Taking this time to really relax the body. Notice any gripping or tightening and just letting that go. Softening the belly, softening the face, releasing any tension. And breathing slowly in, breathing slowly out. Okay, go ahead and open your eyes. Hopefully you're feeling a little more grounded, a little more centered. So let's just start off right off the bat with some bound angle. So go ahead and bring the soles of your feet together. If you bring the feet in nice and close, you're in more of a traditional bound angle. If you bring them a little further out, they sometimes refer to that as star pose. So I want you to start off just wherever feels good, wherever your body feels like it wants to be. So are you closer, bound angle, farther away? in star, whatever. Again, whatever feels good to your body. And then grab hold of your ankles or your shins or whatever. Lift up nice and tall, nice long spine, shoulders down, and then just come forward. I like to bring my elbows out and help kind of press my knees down. And just go until you feel a nice, gentle stretch, probably on that inner thigh area. And just let go. Just release and surrender into this pose. Maybe take a few deep inhales and exhales here. On that exhale, sinking maybe a little deeper into this pose. Maybe just let the head fall down. Just noticing where you're feeling this pose and how it feels. We don't judge these feelings, we just notice them as we learn more and more and more about our bodies. And again, if it feels good on that exhale, come deeper into the pose. All right, go ahead and come back up, taking just a moment to allow your body to kind of process that information, all of those new feelings that we just felt. All right, from here we're going to come up to standing. We'll go through some sun salutations to really get our bodies warmed up. Doing, again, some hip opening stuff along the way. So at the top of your mat, feet close together. They can be, heels and toes can be touching if that feels good to you. Shoulders bringing them up all the way to your ears and then roll them back and down, opening the heart center, arms at your side. Knees are soft, not bent but not locked. And then reach the arms out and up. Keep the shoulders down away from your ears. Reaching up and then diving down, coming into a forward fold. Taking just a moment here to really feel the forward fold. Notice where you're feeling this stretch. Notice if it feels good or if it feels, oh my goodness, I can't believe this, I'm so tight today. And again, we don't judge that. We just kind of notice. Maybe you are tight today. Maybe you're tighter than normal today. And that's totally okay. That's just where you happen to be right now. And then reach the arms out. Come all the way up. Shoulders down. Palms come together. Coming into a slight little back bend. And then reach up. Dive down. Forward fold. Coming into a halfway lift. So either hands on your shins or coming up to your fingertips, whatever feels good. Back is nice and flat. Hips are lifting, which gives you all of that length through the back of your legs. And then come back to your forward fold. Let's step back to down dog. Taking a moment here in your down dog, maybe taking your dog on a little walk so you can bend your right knee and really press the left heel to the mat, feeling that nice good stretch in the calves, or the left calf, and then switch to the other side, so bending the left knee, pressing the right heel towards the mat. This is really, really good for a calf stretch. And then let's switch back to the first side.
And then back to the second side. And then press both heels to the mat. Knees are straight. Hips are lifting. Let's come forward into a forward fold. No. What is this pose? This is plank. Come into plank. Nice tight core. And then come all the way down. Come into an upward facing dog. And then back up to your downward facing dog. And then walk those feet all the way up to your hands, now coming into a forward fold. Reach the arms out, come all the way up, palms come together, little back bend. We'll do one more sun salutation a little quicker this time. So reaching up to the sky, dive down, forward fold. Come into your halfway lift. Forward fold, step back, down dog, come into plank, lower down, up dog, and down dog. Walk those feet forward, come into your forward fold. Reach the arms out, come all the way up. Palms come together, little back bend. Reach back up. Dive down, forward fold. Halfway lift. And this time, we'll come back to forward fold. And now we will step the right foot back, coming into a low lunge. All right, so this is great for stretching like your quads and the front of your upper leg. Yeah, it's all kinds of muscles up there that tend to get really tight because we sit a lot and things like that. So let's just take a moment here to really feel this low lunge. So dropping those hips down, try not to be too far up here. Try to really sink those hips down, straighten up that right leg, pressing the right knee towards the sky. Just take a moment to feel that stretch. Making little micro adjustments, getting deeper and deeper into it. All right, and then go ahead and drop that right knee to the mat, uncurl the toes, bring the hands up to the left knee, and just go ahead and hold here, and then press the hips forward. If this is a lot on your knee, press the top of that back foot in to the mat to slightly raise that right knee. And just pressing the hips forward. Again, feeling that stretch along the front of that right leg. All right, bring the hands down. Curl the right toes under and lift the knee. And step back to down dog. Taking a moment to notice how that right leg feels. All right, walk the feet all the way up to the hands, come back to your forward fold. We're not going to do a whole lot of plank today because this is really more about hip opening. Reach the arms out, come all the way up. Palms come together, little back bend. Reach back up, dive down, forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Left foot back, low lunge. And again, on this side, just take the time to really find the pose. Always making those little tiny adjustments. You know, as you drop the hip down, maybe that meant that your knee bent a little bit. So drop the hips, but then press that knee back up, that left knee back up. So sinking down, lifting the knee, making the stretch feel good. Stretching should never hurt. And you're just noticing how this feels. And then drop that left knee down, uncurl the toes, bring the hands up to the right knee, shoulders down away from your ears, and then press those hips forward. And again, just feeling that nice opening on that left side. And just try to surrender to the stretch. Try not to fight it. Try not to get too wound up about it. Like, it's a stretch and it should feel good. And sometimes our body's first reaction is to tighten up and to, you know, go into a panic mode. But stretching should feel good. So sometimes when you go into it, you have to remind yourself, like, oh yeah, like this is okay. I'm okay. This feels good. All right, bring the hands back to the mat. Curl the left toes under, lift the knee, step back to down dog. Taking a moment, allow your body to process. All right, and then walk the feet up. Come into your forward fold. Reach the arms out, come all the way up. Palms come together, little back bend. Reach back up. Dive down, forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Right foot back, low lunge. Notice if you feel any different this time, like maybe you can get a little bit deeper into it. Or not. Maybe it's exactly the same. And that's cool too. Again, just, be where you are. It's all good. All right, step back to down dog. Okay, now we're going to lift the right leg up and come into a three-legged dog. So to begin with, hips are closed, reaching the right heel towards the sky. So not pointing the toes, but reaching with the heel. And now we're going to open up. So just lifting that right hip, kind of stacking it on top of the left so that your hips are really nice and open. Maybe feeling a stretch in the left inner thigh. Maybe even bending the right knee if that feels good. From here, we'll come into lizard pose. So you're gonna come back up, swing that foot up, but bring it to the outside this time. So it's like a big wide stance this time. So instead of right up by your hand, it's gonna come to the outside of your mat. So most likely that foot is off the mat at this point, just kind of opening up those hips a little bit. Drop the right knee down. This is lizard pose. So drop the left knee, uncurl the toes. Again, you're a little bit wide. That right foot is way out to the side. And then just start kind of like dropping those hips down and allow that right knee to kind of come out a little bit, just allowing that opening. And if it feels good to you, you're gonna come all the way down to your forearms and just really allow this opening. Allow that right knee to fall open. Hanging out here in lizard pose. Taking a few big inhales and exhales, breathing into the stretch, allowing the stretch. Try not to fight the stretch. And then go ahead and press back up. All right, you're going to curl the left toes under and step back to down dog. Taking a moment to notice how your body feels. And then walk the feet forward, come into your forward fold. Reach the arms out, come all the way up. Palms come together, little back bend. Reach back up. Dive down, forward fold. Halfway lift. Nice flat back, head's lifted, hips are lifting. Back to your forward fold. Step the left foot back, low lunge. Again, just kind of noticing what's going on. And then step that right foot back, down dog. Lift that left leg up, three-legged dog, keeping the hips closed to begin with, lifting the left heel up, and then open the hips, stacking that left hip on top of the right and just opening up. So instead of being closed, you're going to open up, maybe even bending that left knee, feeling that opening. And then from here, we'll come in to lizard pose. So coming and swinging that left foot up, again to the outside of the mat. So a nice opening of the hips. Press that left knee open. Allow the hips to drop down. And then drop that right knee down. Uncurl the toes. Maybe let the hips sink a little deeper still. And then if it feels good to you, go ahead and come down to the forearms. Again, this knee is just kind of opening up to allow you to sink down into this. Taking a few deep breaths here. Allowing your body to surrender to this pose. Trying not to fight the pose. Sometimes, again, your body wants to kind of fight some of this if it's a movement that you're not used to. But really try to just let go and surrender to it. All right. When you feel like you're ready, go ahead and press back up. And curl those right toes under, lift that knee, and step back to your down dog. Taking a moment here, just pausing. And then go ahead and walk those feet forward, come into your forward fold. Reach the arms out, come all the way up. Palms come together, little back bend. Reach back up. Dive down to forward fold. Halfway lift, forward fold, step back to down dog. We're going to come into pigeon. We don't have a ton of time left, so just tiny little bit in pigeon on each side. So lift that right leg up, three-legged dog. And then swing it through. Right knee comes to the right wrist. Right ankle comes to the left wrist. And then just kind of inchworm that left leg back. The further up your ankle is, the more of a stretch you're going to have. Make sure that your hips are straight forward, nice and squared off. Allow those hips to sink down. When you're feeling pretty settled, go ahead and come down to a sleeping pigeon. Taking just a few deep breaths here in pigeon. Taking the time to notice where you feel the pose. Most likely feeling it. People feel this in a lot of different places. So you may be feeling it in the right glute area. You might be feeling it on your right inner thigh. You might be feeling your left front of your leg. So no judgment, just notice. Just figure out where you feel this pose. And again, like I said, people feel this pose in a lot of different places. So it's kind of it's a good pose because you might feel it in many different places, and you probably feel it where you probably need it. This is really good for like sciatic nerve pain and low back pain and stuff like that. So do pigeon every single day. I'm just kidding. I mean, you can if you want. It'd be good for you. And feel free to not be just like completely stagnant in your poses. Like if it feels good to kind of wiggle around and adjust a little bit, do it. Do what feels good to you. Okay, and then press back up, curl the left toes under, lift back to your down dog. Now reaching the left leg up, heel to the sky, swing that foot through, coming in to pigeon on this side, taking a moment to kind of wiggle around, let your hips sink. Getting really nice and settled into your pigeon. And when you're ready, come down to your sleeping pigeon. Take some nice deep breaths. Send the breath to any areas that feel particularly tight. take the time to notice if this side feels different than the other side. Notice if you feel this stretch in a different spot than you did on the other side. This side, to me, my left glute is much more intense on this side than it was on the other, so there's obviously some type of imbalance there. And that's okay, and I'm not going to judge that. I'm going to think about it and try to figure out, maybe what's causing the imbalance, but not from a critical, negative sort of way, just out of a curiosity. How can I be more balanced in my life? So, always treating yourself with loving kindness. I like to tell people that they should treat themselves the same way that they would their very best friend. And if you wouldn't judge your best friend for something, then why would you judge yourself for something? Okay, I feel like I could spend another half hour in pigeon, but we probably ought to wrap up. So go ahead and press back up. Curl the toes under, lift back to your down dog. Taking a moment, allow your body to process. And then drop the knees to the mat. Find yourself a nice, comfortable position. I'm going to turn to face my camera again, but you can face whatever direction feels good to you. All right, so thank you for joining me on this hip opening journey today. I hope your hips feel a little bit looser. Maybe just sort of periodically throughout the rest of the day, just notice how your hips are feeling. And think about it tomorrow too. Like all of this work that we did today should set you up for a pretty good tomorrow. So go ahead and close your eyes. Take just a moment here to notice how your body is feeling. Bring your hands to prayer at heart center. Feeling a moment of gratitude for the time that you have taken for yourself, knowing how much you deserve this. And I thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through this yoga practice today. The divine light in me honors the divine light in you. Namaste.